Hello, everybody. Dave Neal here, stand-up comic and host of Bachelor Nation News. Happy Monday morning. Tomorrow night, we've got the season finale of Season 7 of Bachelor in Paradise. A week after that, we'll premiere Michelle's season of Bachelorette. But as you guys know, there's always some other stories going on. Tune in for the next video, which we'll talk about Claire and Dale and everyone who's picking sides in their messy and unfortunate breakup. But speaking of other things that are messy, Arie Jr is here, and he's reproposing to his wife. Did I get that right? He's reproposing to his wife. All right, so what we're going to talk about in this video, because look, to be honest, I don't mind Arie as a human. I've watched his YouTube videos, and I go, seems like a good dad. Seems like he found the perfect relationship for him. The problem is the hypocrisy. So we're going to go over the money that he took from the PPP loans, $20,000. We'll talk about his new home in Hawaii and how he's got enough money to buy a new engagement ring for someone he's already married to. And the reasoning behind that, I'll play you a part of that video. And also we'll go over the other engagement rings that exist in this family tree of diamonds, which, by the way, has jacked up the price of diamonds. So when I had to buy an engagement ring, it was up 20% because this guy's buying rings left and right. You got Neal Lane just slingshotting them at people at this point. So we'll go over that. And then a throwback story to how the governor of Minnesota was trying to sign a bill to ban Arie after he dumped Becca. It's amazing. So let's get right into it. If you enjoy this content, hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe to my channel and also patreon.com. I've got my membership only community. This past Saturday, I talked about 2 different leads and messages they sent to me this week, what it was all about, some insider info, things I don't share with the public. But if you want that, you can go to patreon.com/Dave Neal and support the private community. All right. And don't forget, follow me on Instagram at DNeal. You ready to get into this story? So here it is. I got sent this yesterday. I was at the beach. It's a heat wave in Los Angeles. Everyone's like, oh, you pay for all the extra taxes and this and that. It's like, yeah, well, we also get to go to the beach in October, okay? You win some, you lose some. So there they are, engaged again. And of course, my immediate thought was, why'd you buy a new diamond ring? I thought you were struggling, right? Now, the PPP loans, of course, we'll get into. There's a whole, let's see, is it this one right here? So here's the actual paperwork that Arie filled out, Instagram Husband LLC. And people say, well, he's a real estate agent. Maybe during the pandemic, he wasn't able to have a livelihood. Let's just be specific. This PPP loan was for small business owners, and it's for his Instagram company, which, of course, is this guy right here selling apps online. Now, let me tell you something. A lot of people were hurt and are still hurt from the pandemic. I get comments all the time. My dad lost his pizza place because the PPP loan money ran out. He didn't have an accountant that could get him first in line. Whatever the case may be, the rich got richer and the poor got poorer. That's just what happened. Millions upon millions of dollars were given away to corporations, even like my boy Tom Brady. His TB12 corporation got PPP loan money. So did a ton of other celebrities. And everyone says, well, they just did the right paperwork and they were able to get it. And it's like, while Luigi was over there flipping pizzas, he wasn't able to get the paperwork in time. Maybe he's not as literate with the accounting, whatever the case may be. Now, maybe Arie's got an accountant that said, hey, we'll get you this money. It's free money. Let's get the money. Either way, I think after all of the discussions from Bachelor Nation, it would have been nice to be like, you know what? I'm going to give the $20,000 back. Because as we know, the $20,000 came, while he bought a second home in Hawaii. Now he's on Instagram complaining about like the avocado prices are crazy here. And it's like, that's because rich white people like you moved in every house you buy in Hawaii, you're jacking up the price for indigenous people that lived there. It's an island nation that we overthrew in the late 1800s. Does anybody else do research around here? Why do we overthrow it? So we could have a location closer to Asia, so if we have to bomb them. I mean, what's going on? We leave the colonies so we could start our own, and now we're colonizing Hawaii. I digress. Arie's in Hawaii proposing for the second time to someone he's already married to. So here are the photos. We got the first one, and she said, yeah, she better say yes. She got twins and stuff. So there they are. They're getting engaged at a bluff. Like I said, I think they're a cute couple. I think they work for each other. I think Lauren's adorable. I don't think her personality type really came off on camera. Maybe she's a little more introverted, whatever the case may be. But there they are. And of course, immediately people are like, I'm confused. I would understand more if they weren't married already, like JoJo and Jordan. This would be more on brand for someone like Hannah and Dylan. I understand their engagement was after the final rose, but I'm confused because they're legit married. And then, of course, other people are like, well, I hope they this time just for us as we post it for everybody to see and have a professional photographer and probably a videographer there. Of course, the whole thing was done as sort of a publicity thing, which we'll get into. So here's the video. Let's go to, by the way, here's the, I have this special app where I get to see my views versus them. I have to say, I know I make a lot of content, but it's nice that I'm getting more views than Arie, the lead of the show. If I could pat myself on the back for something, it's to thank you guys for the supporting me. I'm in blue, they're in red. Of course, they have 262,000 subscribers, and I've got 44,000. And that's thanks to you guys, so I appreciate that. And we're going to keep on calling out this nonsense as we see it. So they made a vlog about it, and here is the vlog. Of course, the ring that they're showing is completely sponsored. So we'll just play this for you. He says that, I wanted to redo it because the Bachelor paid for the first ring, so I wanted to do the second one out of my own pocket. You know what I mean?
The ring I gave her on The Bachelor was obviously paid for by The Bachelor. Don't know if you guys know that, but that's how it works.
So today's ring is paid by the PPP loan, at least part of it. $20,000 isn't going to get you much more than a couple of carats. I'm sure this ring was maybe $80,000.
We never really felt like it was something that I chose for her, so I got her another ring.
What do they say, like a silver spoon? Look, you can go watch. I'm not going to show much more of this. It's what's it called? Like when you're raised with such privilege. Dad's a professional race car driver, one of the best in the Netherlands. I don't really follow it. He gets to grow up just racing cars his whole life, and then he gets fame and then becomes a real estate agent, and I'm sure it's a bunch of hot moms in Scottsdale that I'll list my home to you, Arie. And it's like, all right, bro, you know what I mean? Like, I'm sure that involves some work. We're all working hard. The point of privilege is like, it's people that start off, 99 yards in front of you in a 100-yard dash. That's what Arie is. And so he takes that privilege. He lives in a state, and this is no offense to Arizona, I'll be there in a few weeks, but he lives in a state where they vote against the same social services that they take advantage of. It's the same thing like voting against abortions in Texas. Now, hold on, folks. They're not, when you vote against abortions in Texas, you're basically saying you can't get a safe abortion now because people still get abortions. They just do it in a way more dangerous way. So all the senators and all the governors and all the people that still not need to get abortions can send their mistress over to South Carolina or wherever they need to go. The poor people are the ones that suffer. The poor people are the ones that are suffering on the PPP loans because guys like Arie were like, free money, I'll take the money. And then when it comes to voting against universal health care and all the rights that we want to give people after they're born, we go, no, we don't want to do that. We don't have the government money for that. F you, Arie, okay? F you. So anyway, you go. Did I have another timestamp? Let's see if there's anything I missed on this.
So I'm reproposing today. A little nervous. I have something planned. We're going to go to the Nakaleli Blowhole, which is where we shot our engagement pics.
The Blowhole, isn't that the fantasy suite that got us here in the first place? All right, folks. So I'll show you the different rings and everything, but of course, I need receipts when I talk about these things. Giving Arie the $20,000 for his business Instagram husband wasn't even the government's first mistake. Of course, there was so much money to give out, they couldn't even begin to audit it. So it's up to us Americans to call out the BS. Now, of course, we had Tayshia also receive money. Someone says, I can't understand why Tayshia would need this after being the most recent Bachelorette and now host. The opportunities for her are endless. And Nick says she doesn't. The Bachelorette gets paid anywhere between $100,000 to $200,000. Plus, they get about $1 per every follower they have per year if they're doing their influencership right. Those are numbers according to Jason from the Trading Secrets podcast. If you have 1 million followers, you're probably going to make $1 million a year. Even if you're only making $100,000 a year, it's certainly enough to not need the PPP loans. Meanwhile, I live in a family when these loans were coming out in the spring of 2019 where we were living paycheck to paycheck. I had lost my job. My fiance couldn't go to work. And we applied for a PPP loan and the money was drained because of assholes like Arie and people like Tayshia, who maybe they just had a flawed accountant. And Tayshia's response was, hey, I used the money to hire new people. The money was supposed to keep people on the payroll that already had jobs. It wasn't money that you can use to put capital into your business. I don't have a degree in accounting. I'm not a CPA. Why do I know this? Anyway, so we'll keep going. So here's what happened, right? If you guys don't remember how this whole world exists in the first place, Arie proposed to Becca Kufrin, right? Are you new? Yes, Becca Kufrin. And as he's looking at engagement rings for Becca, he's going, man, this ring would be perfect for someone else. Everything you need to know about the Bachelor engagement ring that's said to cost $80,000 and is now embroiled in the show's controversy. I know there's a lot going on here, but this is kind of where we are on a Monday. So Monday's finale of The Bachelor, of course, this is Arie's season, was anything but a fairy tale. It included a proposal featuring a stunning ring, courtesy of the show's go-to jeweler, leatherbag himself, the football, Neal Lane. He looks like a football that you left out over the winter, and then once the snow melted, you just see this leathery sack. That's Neal Lane, and we love him. I'm kidding. Neal Lane's nice. Oh, yeah, maybe he's a little heavy on the self-tanner. Who cares? Aren't we all? Arie chose a 4-carat platinum set halo diamond ring worth $80,000 when he proposed to Becca. Though they showed him choosing the ring, the selection process was kept noticeably short on the broadcast, with Neal Lane only showing him one ring. According to Lane, Arie was conflicted when choosing a ring. Okay? He was very indecisive and there was a hesitation, and he took the process very, very seriously. Because of the controversial season finale, people were left wondering what would happen to the ring in the event of a Bachelor breakup. The Bachelor is not required to pay for the ring, though it's a point of contention who actually forks over the money for it, according to Bustle. But that also means if contestants get engaged but break up before 2 years of being together, they must give it back. So Arie noticed a different ring that he was like, this ring's perfect for someone else. So he had in his mind, he was still in love with Lauren. As we know, if you guys watched this, this might be the craziest Bachelor thing ever. Because after the proposal to Becca, they're engaged, they're proposed, they're done. They do the safe house visit. He goes to the safe house and he's like, I'm going to need that ring back. Kind of licks her finger, tries to slide it off. And she's like, no, give it to me. And then like they break up and she's like, what are you doing? He keeps following her around. Very strange, right? So she said yes. He said not anymore. That's how it works. Such is life. So, and again, probably the best thing that ever happened to Becca, as you know, heartbreak, she's dodged a bullet. So so then he gives a ring to Lauren Burnham, Arie, let's call her just Lauren Arie Jr. 3.5 carats. So he went from a 4 carat down to a 3.5 carat. Neal Lane had an inkling something wasn't quite right. Talking to Bachelor's Arie as he struggled to pick the 3-carat engagement ring he'd give to Becca Kufrin later that same day, Lane was struck by his indecision. We talked for a long time, and while I didn't know exactly what he was thinking at the time, he did seem so torn, conflicted, very serious, and under a lot of pressure. They flew to Peru to tape the franchise's dramatic season 22 finale. Arie picked a gorgeous ring for Becca and generally spoke so highly of her, but he kept coming back to this other ring and saying how perfect it would be for his other girl, who it turns out was Lauren. I love Arie. He's just sucking off the teat of other people's credit cards. He's like, this ring's good for my current lady, but this ring's gonna be good for the lady after I dump her. He's just got, and I'll take that ring for my mom. They're like, it doesn't work that way. You don't just get rings for your mom. He's like, all right, my bad. Sorry, thought I could. So there it is. Whatever, they do the whole thing. So there he is. He proposes to Lauren, and like I said. Good for them, happy for them. But it's like, does Lauren know how despised her husband is? And it's got nothing to do, like I said, you can be a good father and a stupid human. And he just seems like a stupid human. So Becca is now single after that debacle. She goes on The Bachelorette. She had to give that ring back. Maybe they put the money, maybe they pawned it off so that Arie could afford another ring. They give that ring back, and then she gets engaged to Garrett. They break up 2 years into their engagement, which means she gets to keep the $100,000 ring. Now she may or may not be with Thomas. They're dating on Bachelor in Paradise. Check in my channel. We'll have to see. So it takes us to this. When Arie broke up with Becca, who's from Minnesota, the governor was so upset, he said he was going to sign a bill keeping Arie out. Let me tell you something, folks. You have a rough season of The Bachelor when you are no longer allowed in one of the 50 states. You know what I mean? I wish the governor of Hawaii would kick him out of there too. You got to go. We need to bring down the prices of avocados. Bachelor Arie has criminal past and may be banned from Minnesota if GOP state representative has his way. So, look, like I said, if I ran into Arie at an airport bar, yeah, I'm sure I'd have a good conversation. Hey, you're a cool dude, cute kids, you seem like a good dad. It's the hypocrisy, knowing he was given all of this, and then he gets the new ring. Where is it, right? He gets the new ring, and it's all just a sponsorship anyway. He does the whole thing where he, they get engaged. Let's see if I can find it. They get engaged over here or something, and he whips out the ring. He shows where it's from. They do the whole thing again. It's just a sponsorship.
Okay, we're back in the car.
Guys, look.
It's a nice ring.
We got married again.
You did not expect that, did you?
Just kidding.
What are they in there? Range Rover?
Repropose. So I don't know if I kind of like I touched on in the beginning of the video.
Like why?
Yeah, like why?
Yeah.
But
Like why?
I don't know.
Like why? Alright, tell us.
This is a special place for us. This is where we did our little engagement shoot. It was super windy out there. I will show you some photos right here of what happened.
Where's the IRS auditor? Is he in the background? He's like, you're gonna have to pay some money back. Just pay the 20 grand. People like me will shut up. Nice photos. All right, so private shoot, just for themselves and the photographer and for me to recap. So it's like, look, Arie, just pay the $20,000 back. The government's not gonna make you. The balls on him, the Neal Lane diamond-encrusted balls on Arie, that he... Weird Monday. We're heating up, folks. That he hasn't even commented to Bachelor Nation. He's like, you know what? I'm above them. I'm above the people that built me, that gave me the following. So now I'll sell sweet tea on my Instagram all day long, but I'm not going to comment on the people that got me where I am. So anyway, here's his mugshot from 2008. You gotta love a good mugshot. There's no mugshots of me, folks. Don't try. Arie's mugshot from a 2008 arrest began recirculating after he controversially dumped Bachelor winner Becca after proposing to her and then quickly proposed to runner-up Lauren Burnham. I'm getting a phone call. Is that Arie's? Arie's like lawyers calling me. Like, cease and desist. You cease and desist. Desist from Hawaii in your second home, you PPP. The brutal breakup has painted the winner as a bad boy and angered fans so much that Minnesota rep Drew Christensen, okay, it wasn't a governor, it was a rep, Drew Christensen, signed a bill for an act to ban the 36-year-old reality star from the state. I'm a man of my word. Here's the bill banning Arie. Can we ban Arie from YouTube? Can we get this bill to ban him? No, I'm not about censorship. That's why I'm doing this, because I'm not about censorship. I'm going to call out. So here, this is government money being spent. Freedom from Arie Jr. The state of Minnesota hereby adopts a policy of zero tolerance of Arie Jr. from season 22 of The Bachelor. And I can't really read it. It's a little blurry. But how funny is that? Of course, this is all like symbolic. And, you know, they say, oh, it's a waste of taxpayers' time. Maybe. You could probably bang this out on your lunch break. It's fun. It's good PR for Minnesota. Minnesota's not going to take that from Arizona. Minnesota's a blue state, right? They're the land of a bunch of lakes. Is that what it's called? Bordering Canada. What else do we know about Minnesota? Twin Cities, right? Minnesota. Kirby Puckett, right? Minnesota. What else do we know about Minnesota? That's about it that we have for Minnesota. But the point is that what's the lady Amy Klobuchar, Minnesota. Boy, what if she was president? She'd be like, all right, we're going to need to send you back to the Netherlands. But couldn't they just make a phone call to the IRS and make Arie's life a living hell? I mean, like, that's what I would do. If I was in the IRS and I watched The Bachelor, I'd be like, let's audit this, Instagram husband LLC and see what he's all about here. I'm sure he's laundering money. The bill hasn't appeared on the Minnesota State Legislature's site as of Thursday morning. This is a few years old. So anyway, that's what you have there. A fun story. Look, hey, sure. Like I said, don't get me twisted. Happy for their family. Will their kids be monsters because he's teaching them just the laws of entitlement? I don't know. Maybe they'll turn out just fine. But a kid that's been given everything his whole life, all the way up to multiple diamond rings. Hey, that's where he is. Never use that as an excuse for where you are in your lot. Just keep fighting, do the right thing. But let's keep on calling out this nonsense. Hey, congrats on the second proposal. Are you going to get married again? What are you going to do? You know what I mean? All right, donate the 20 grand maybe to hey, donate it to my Christmas kids gift fund, and then we'll call it equal. Wow, no pun intended. Bye, guys.